Let's welcome Mr. Malik Eden.
各位来宾，大家好，我是陆，会讲中文的这个陆。我想利用今天的机会，跟大家分享一下我们目前在 3D Bridge 上面的项目，以及向各位报告我们的 ID Bridge 目前的进展。最重要的是，我希望能够与各位分享未来2-3年内 Intel 会有什么样的计划来改变我们的 PC industry。首先，我想要花一点时间跟大家报告一下目前产业的进度。OK？
Hey, just a minute. What are you doing on stage?
I'm you. Can you see?
You are not me.
只是长得比你帅一点。
I don't know what you said, but I don't think I like it. So, what are you doing on stage?
Okay. Yeah, I will leave the stage to you.
Yeah, guys, production, cut, get him off stage.
Okay, just promise me you'll share with everybody on how you created it.
I'll show everybody what I was trying to show you over here, which was done by Sandy Bridge, and I'll show it to you later on. Last year I tried to give this presentation in Chinese, but I was told that my Chinese is Mama Hoo. So I tried to use a better Chinese, but I don't trust what he's saying. Thanks, Joseph. All right. Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. In my session, I'll cover Sandy Bridge, I'll give you a sneak peek into Ivy Bridge, but most important, I'll continue what Sean was giving in his keynote, and I'll expose you to some of our latest plan to transform the PC. But first, let me share with you a little bit how we see the PC industry environment, because I read so many stories on the press about the PC and the post-PC era, so let me tell you how we see it. First of all, emerging markets are driving the PC growth. If I look forward, 65% of the PC TAM, total available market growth, in the coming 4 years are going to come from emerging markets. By the end of next year, probably the biggest consumption country is going to be PRC, then USA, and then Brazil. 2 out of 3 are going to be in emerging market. And 2 out of 3 will be very interesting number to remember. 2 out of 3 PC will be sold in emerging market. 2 out of 3 PC will be sold to consumer, and 2 out of 3 PCs are going to be notebooks. If we take a deeper look at what's happening here in Asia and APAC, we can see that 90% of the PC TAM growth will come from emerging APAC. It will not come from Australia, it will not come from New Zealand. The growth will not even come from here. It will come from India, and Philippines, in Malaysia, Indonesia. The emerging markets are going to drive it. And if you see the foil that shows as the disposable income in this emerging market will grow, so will the penetration of the PC. Now, last year, I'm not sure if it's this stage, but definitely here in Computex, I exposed you to Sandy Bridge, and I say, you know what, we are going to deliver a great platform. It's going to be incredible smart performance on demand. It's going to be stunning media and visual experience. You are going to enjoy it. We spoke even on the process of graphic, or the integration graphic, so we are going to show you a huge amount of performance improvement. So let's see how we met our promises. I can spend in hours, and I know at least one gentleman that probably will enjoy it, but the rest probably will not, speaking about the great benchmark. 47% high-spec improvement generation over generation, which have to do with integer, 34% F-spec, and more than 200%, actually 236% on 3D mark, and go on and on with the benchmark, and then you look at the consumer and say, yes, it's impressive, but what is there for me? What should I do with all these things? And I was trying to speak about the benchmark, I was trying to speak about the drivers. I tried to explain it to my wife, but for my wife, a driver is the person that's sitting behind the wheel. So I gave up. It means we need to speak with them in usage model, to explain them what they can do today that they couldn't have done before. This is the experience. If we are trying to look at the experience, we see three people doing different tasks, different jobs. They're doing Excel and PowerPoint and Picasa. They're playing games. They are watching video. They are trying to edit video. They are changing the format, which we call transcoding. And the question is, what part of the system is more important to achieve this usage model? Is it the CPU? Is it the GPU? Or is it the media? Or in other words, because there's a lot of argument in the press, which part is more important? CPU, GPU, or media? So let's test it. Let's look at some of the examples. And for this, I would like to have David helping me. Hi, David. Great, can be better. I believe that you are going to show us some demos.
Well, exactly. I have an incredible example here for you, and it's called Portraiture from Economics. It's part of the Adobe Lightroom plugins.
Okay.
And we're actually going to apply some filters on some of my favorite subjects, which is...
Apply some filters.
Oh, yeah.
For another human being, what do you mean by apply some filters?
Okay, well, actually, let me start it off, and we'll discuss it.
Please do.
Okay, so I'm going to hit OK here, both.
When you start it on sandwich and previous generation, we can see them running side by side, and
Well, as you notice, we're applying these filters. It's actually improving the blemishes, the skin tone. All these filters have, and it's actually kicking in turbo right now, so they can
improving the skin tone.
Yes.
So it's kind of digital Botox,
Digital Botox. Yeah.
surgery plastic.
We'll take 10 years off you with this.
10 years of my
Well, off you, I don't know. It's going to
probably the next generation I go process. Okay, but for these ladies we can do it.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to see in a few seconds.
Okay, so we see the performance is happening. We are doing it on several pictures in parallel.
Yeah.
And actually what we are trying to do, the same way that you get rid of red eye, we take a picture, we want to remember ourselves sometimes a little bit nicer than we are, take away all the defects, all the blemishes, everything, and try to look at the picture. So how would you show us how it looks before and after? By the way, the system on the right, which is the current generation, we speak about responsiveness, finished. You can look at your own leisure on the system on the left, which is not the best system. The ladies want it. Anybody who wants to have it, not extra the bullying. But you can see actually that this is a post-processor that's running, cleaning everything. By the way, I didn't know that this any gentleman also said, wow. But this is a kind of an example using the reason I want to show you, because in this specific example, this was CPU intensive. The general purpose CPU was working in order to deliver this kind of example.
Exactly.
Why don't we take to another example?
Well, we're going to look at the media performance now. So what I'm going to do is actually bring up another app that we have here. It's called Bada Room from Elemental Software.
And what you're trying to do is
We're actually going to transcode a video.
transcode. So for those of you who do not know what's transcode, transcode is encoded the code. Is it clear now? Okay, so rather than speaking technology again, if I want to take a file and change the format, I want to take a clip and put it into my iPhone. I want to take some movie that I have and upload it to YouTube. In a technical manner, you need to change the format of the file. That's what's transcoding, and you can see on the right it's already done.
Yes, it's done already.
And on the left,
It's still going. It's going to try to take
and again, we spoke about it, but we did special accelerators, and I believe that transcoding in the new generation is more than 8x faster. So if you want to convert a file or download something to your iPhone, etc., you can do it in a minute or 2 minutes rather than waiting more than 15. So this part is what we refer to the media part. And we've got another example.
That's okay. Well, to go back to this, that's actually quite super videos, which mentioned that. But now we're going to look at the graphics section here. And
We've got two systems. One system which
with actually a game called World of Warcraft, Cataclysm. And we're going to start that off and see if we have it open on the screen. Very popular game.
very popular game, casual game. The interesting thing that you see over here, that on one of the screens, you've got the processor graphic or the integrated graphic, which is part of Sandy Bridge, and on the other one is a discrete graphic, and the challenge is to know which one is the discrete, which one is built into Sandy Bridge, and I'll touch on it later on. And as you can see on these games, I will show some other examples. It will be very difficult to differentiate what is done on what. And this is the Sandy Bridge. So what I showed you is three things. We show you some features or some application that use the CPU, some applications that use the GPU, and some applications that use the media. And let me ask you again the same question. What is more important, the CPU, the GPU, or the media? Now you can see me, I cannot see you, there's no light. But how many of you think the CPU is more important? Raise your hand, please help me. By the way, even if it's something very stupid, it's okay, your friend will not see because it's very dark. Okay, I cannot see, so I will not try it even. It means some people say the CPU is more important. Some people say that the GPU is more important. Let me give you a hint. If people say the GPU is more important, normally they don't have a very strong CPU, right? But the truth of the matter is that all the three are important because it depends on the application that you are using. And more than that, the thing that will define your satisfaction from your PC is not the best thing, but the worst thing. You can have a great CPU and media and lousy graphic. You come to play a game, you have terrible experience. You can have a great graphic and media. You try to do this facelifting, and you'll sit next to your PC and you'll wait for a long time, or if you do PowerPoint or whatever, and you'll have lousy experience. And the magic word, and I'll touch on it several times when I speak about Sandy Bridge, and even more so when I speak about Ivy Bridge, is that the system needs to be balanced. All the components need to have the same level, and whenever we see a bottleneck, we need to resolve this bottleneck in order to deliver this great experience. Now, let me ask you a question. What's in common to all the things that you are going to see over here on the screen? Play the video, please. The reason I'm saying it, by utilizing processor graphic, you can have two things. You can have thinner systems, and I'll touch a lot about it later on because Sean start touching it. Thinner system because you've got less power to dissipate, and you can have longer battery life. It's all about the processor graphics that we integrated into the system. As we said, 4 years ago, we committed to improve the graphics by 10x, and it was indeed our weakest link. We succeeded to improve it by 25x, and I believe that when you see Ivy Bridge, and maybe you'll even see it today, you'll be surprised to see the continuous improvement that we did on the graphic frontier. Let me show you another proof point. One of our customers, and again, I don't want to call names, but one of our very demanding customers came with the MacBook Pro 30-inch. Now, I'm not calling names, because I was told not to call names. In this MacBook Pro, there was a discrete graphics by a company that was supposed not to mention the names. But this discrete graphic is not in this system anymore. It was replaced by the processor graphic of Sandy Bridge. So if this demanding customer, that I don't want to call his name, decided that the processor graphic, the integrated solution, is strong enough, I believe you'll see it penetrating more and more, and we'll put more and more effort to continue and improve on that. Okay, another thing which I did last year I showed you some kind of a prototype of a controller that we say is going to change the way that games are going to be played. We say it's kind of an extension of your body, and I showed you some effort that we did together between 6 Sense, which was the company that developed it, Razer, which is the company that built this joystick, that are doing many fascinating mouse, joystick, keyboard, and Valve, which was writing the software that was doing the game. In this case, it was Portal 2. Now, 1 year later, rather than telling you about it and waving my hand, I would like to invite on stage a person that calls himself Chief Gamers and CEO of Razer, Min Liang. Min. How are you doing? So generally, I don't like to get you on stage because you hijack the parade. You did great. Look at this. Yes. So, do you want some private time?
Absolutely.
Anyway, bring it over here.
Okay. Anyway, this is the Razer Hydra. It's the world's first motion sensing gaming platform on PC.
When is it going to be introduced?
Well, we've just introduced it this week, and I've come all the way from California. The first production sample.
So first of all, thank you very much. Now, that's for me, I take it. Don't show it illegal, I'm not supposed to take anything more than $25. You shouldn't say. Now, can you tell us what the difference between this controller, all the other controllers that exist in the market, because there are many controllers, but then this is something special.
Sure.
What's special about it?
Well, it's the first one for the PC, definitely, and also over and above, it's the most precise motion sensing platform ever.
And the accuracy is
1 millimeter of movement, and you can even tilt it by a degree, and it will register.
so actually I can tell it, I showed you the demo last year, production worthy, gaming will look totally different with this, and to show you how it looks like, we've got over here Jeff from 6 Sense to show you. So Jeff, just go and blow it to pieces.
Sure.
And by the way guys, you can look at his hands, because actually as we speak, the controller are extension of his hands over into the computer, and this is Photo 2 that was section has been written specifically to take advantage of this controller.
It's one-to-one motion, as you can see from what John was doing this first time. And you can pre-order it right now. We're going to be shipping this next week at Razer Zone.
Listen, if you're going to have to make promotional deals, I want to have royalties. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, John. And guys, I encourage all of you to go down to Intel booth. Josh is going to be there. Some guys from Mina are going to be there. And don't trust anything that we say. Just have this controller, try to play with this, and see how good you are in order to make it happen. Now, the ramp of Sandy Bridge was the fastest ramp ever for Intel Corporation. The fastest ramp ever of Sandy Bridge. But I believe being in Taiwan, I need to take this opportunity and thank you all, because guys, there was no way that we could have wrapped it without you doing all this great PC that we see all around. So thank you very much, Sheshem, for all our partners in right here. We've got hundreds of new SKUs of Sandy Bridge as we speak, and I believe we will see it all over. Now, for many years I was speaking about mobile, and I said the world is moving to mobile. A year and a half ago, I got responsibility for the desktop. So from now on, I don't want anybody to say one bad word about desktop. Desktop is important. And this is the proof. No, it's not a joke, I'll tell you what to laugh. So, first of all, I want to introduce the K-SKU, the unlocked processor that used to be in the Extreme Edition. We took it down to mainstream so more people will be able to enjoy it. BTEC say, the Sandy Bridge CPU range is incredible, and it has the potential to change the entire PC industry. If you look at the overclocking, pros, 1, 2, 3, 4, cons, nothing, actually the market loved it. More than that, we came with the Z68 that actually it was required by the industry. Because when we came with the previous generation of our chipset, either you can do overclocking and play with the discrete graphics, or you can use all these beautiful transcoding, the quick-sync technology, or all the media feature that have been in our chipset, but there was no way to use both of them together. We came with the Z68 that enabled you to do the overclocking. You can enjoy the built-in visual. You can have the new SSD caching that I'm going to cover later on, and you'll be able to use switchable graphics. But it's more than switchable graphics, because switchable graphics, and then, by the way, I'm running pretty fast, so if you understand what I'm saying, do like this with your head, so I know that I can run fast, okay? And if you don't understand, do like this just to be polite. But help me. I need your help. So actually, there's a company which is Lucid Technology that wrote the software so we'll be able to use both things at the same time. The discrete graphic if you are playing gaming with dual SLI or Radeon from AMD, and at the same time, if you want to do application that take advantage of our processor graphic to be able to enjoy both of them, this is the Lucid technology, and let me give you a demo that speaks for itself. Yes, Dave, you were supposed to be here.
I'm right here.
Okay, what do we see over here?
Well, let's say you're actually in the blocking machine here. But
This is, for those of you who do not know, this is a desktop. Yes, it's a desktop. You can see I believe this for Asus.
Asus is that.
Asus, top of the line. This is something, by the way, that you'll never be able to fit into a notebook. It's really high-end, every mix. Lots of power hungry, but let's see what we see over here. And the people that have this say, guys, we would like to enjoy the best ever gaming, but we would like to be able to enjoy, record it, transcode it, put it on YouTube for our friends. And here we are jumping between the discrete and the processor graphic.
Yeah.
So what do we have here on stage?
Yeah, well, we're using that high-end discrete card that someone's put in there. We would have actually had this enthusiast game. It's called Section 8. Right?
So this enthusiast game, Section
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
But at the same time that we are playing the game,
We're actually going ahead and start up an application called CyberLink's Media Espresso.
and actually what we are doing here is actually transcoding the file in parallel to play the game.
Exactly, using QuickSync again to improve and create that 3-minute video into something in it.
So Lucid technology, software based, enable us to enjoy both things at the same time, the discrete graphic and the goodness of the processor graphic enabled by the Z68 microprocessor. Thank you, David. But another category which is growing very fast is the all-in-one. The all-in-one category continues to ramp as we speak, and our OEM are continuing to develop new form factor and much more innovation. We've got systems over here from LGE, Acer, Lenovo, Dell, and HP, and we can see the systems over here. And each system is totally different ID design. If you look at the thickness of the system, you'll be surprised. I've got the LGE system over here. If you look at it from the side, I believe we continue to develop. We see the MSI system, the ASUS system, and the system are continuing to evolve and getting to be nicer and nicer every time that we speak. But it's not only the OEM. We got also requests from the channel to be able to continue and compete in this category. And for that, we developed the Thin Mini ITX, which is a standard motherboard that was designed specifically in order to fit into the all-in-one, and by this, first of all, accelerate time to market and make it much simpler for the channel to service these systems. And what we see over here is systems from ECS, from Maytag, and from Gigabyte. All these systems that you see over here are using the same Mini ITX motherboard in order to be able to help the channel compete also and deliver the solution that they want. Now, as we grew the all-in-one, we start getting requests from our customers, and they say, you know what, the interesting thing is all-in-one, that it's nice and pretty, and for that reason, rather than hiding it under the table the way that we used to do with the big blue and beige and boring desktop we used to do in the past, they're nice, and we put them on the table, and we are sitting next to it, and sometimes the fan makes too much noise and it's annoying. And the question to us was, Intel, is there any way you can help us? And the answer is definitely we can. I've got only one request. If you can turn around the camera for 25 seconds, thank you. And guys, if you can prevent taking picture for the next 45 seconds, then I'll let you take pictures, okay? So I believe we'll see more and more of this solution as we move forward. Definitely we patented it, we would like to give it to our customers, but we'll be able to deliver all-in-one system. You'll be able to put it on your table, and you'll not have the annoying noise of the phone due to this special cooling. And definitely, as we speak about thin system and transformation, we in Intel will have to put more and more effort into this cooling stuff. Now, Sean mentioned in his talk that we are going to go through transformation. And the transformation of is actually something we are looking for several years, and it's actually forcing us to think differently. And for those of you who are kind of old-timer like me, who spend the time designing microprocessor, it's almost identity crisis. It was not so simple. Because if you look at it, for 20 years, the way that we used to work is we design microprocessor. And if you deliver more performance, 5 or 10% more CSMART, you got your way for eternity. You will be remembered in the books of microprocessor as somebody that did something great. On top of the microprocessor, you've got some software that you throw, and it's called operating system. You took the two together, you threw it over the market. People wrote applications, and applications are actually the one that deliver the user experience. Today, when we are moving forward, and I believe we already adopted it when we did Sandy Bridge, we are doing it even more, we start by asking ourselves a very tough question. What are the user experience that's going to happen in 2013 and 2015? And gentlemen, I hope that there's no record, but these are very real people. You come to Intel and you see psychologists, anthropologists, all these kind of IST that didn't used to live in Intel in the past. Suddenly these people accommodate places in Intel, and they're coming to tell the microprocessor architects what to do. What a shame. I hope this is not out of you. So actually we start asking, why? I said, because the question is, what are we going to improve? Which part? And I'll come to it in a second. Then we look, what is the software that we need? Do we need vector processing? Do we need to accelerate the media? Do we need something special for the graphic? Do we need some general purpose? And only after we finish to define it, we ask ourselves, what's the form factor? And people say, people would like to go with something thin. So we go to the designer and say, this is your budget. You've got 15 watts. Go and do miracle. But all the budget definition is defined by the user experience, and only then we do the microprocessor. Now, there's a lot of confusion in the market, because people think that if you start with user experience, microprocessor does not need to be powerful. The microprocessor needs to be very powerful. It's still relevant. But when we're doing the microprocessor of 2015, the question is, what should we improve? Remember what we spoke about. Should we improve the media? Should we improve the graphic? Should we improve the general purpose CPU? Should we improve all of them? And this is actually an outcome of the definition of what is the user experience. Now, this is not the first transformation that Intel is trying to lead. In 1995, actually we had one transformation. The old-timer over here probably remember it. It was the MMX transformation, the Pentium MMX. The transformation was from enterprise to consumer. In 1995, most of the PCs have been sold to enterprise. You do Excel spreadsheets, you do productivity activities. Enjoy yourself? God forbid. This is not a PC. And we said, guys, first of all, every PC will have a CD-ROM, and people will be able to consume video. Well, this strange idea. In 1995, when we spoke about it, this was kind of revolution. People are going to consume video on PC. 1995. Interesting enough, 8 years later, remember the number, 8 years later we came with the next transformation. This was the Centrino transformation in 2003. And I believe many of you lived in order to remember this transformation from desktop to mobile and wireless connectivity. And when we said that you'll have wireless connectivity everywhere, in every hotel, in every lounge, people were laughing at us. Today, you will not sign into a hotel if you don't have the wireless connectivity. Exactly 8 years later, today, we are coming with the next transformation that we are trying to drive, and Sean announced it as the ultrabook transformation. It's going to be ultra thin because people care about the form factor. It's going to be ultra secure, and I'll speak about it because security is getting more and more important. It's going to be ultra responsiveness, and somebody say it's going to be ultra amazing. So actually, we are going to drive this transformation, and like Centrino, it took us almost 3 years to drive this transformation. We started transformation now, but we believe it will take us 2.5 years to complete it, all the way from Sandy Bridge, Ivy Bridge, and Haswell. What we have over here is some systems that I believe later on you'll be able to get to stage and see, but this is some fascinating system. This system has been shown today on stage. Is the ASUS UX21, unbelievable thin system. You look at it and you fall in love with the system. You say, I would like to have these systems. I've got here the Compass system again, unbelievable thin system. If you look at the form factor, all of them below 0.7 inch. I've got the Lenovo U300, a GAN system that I believe everybody will be very willing to adopt immediately. I've got the Samsung Series 9, and I've got the LG P220, which I'm sure many of you will come and take picture. The interesting thing, and then the reason I say it's a revolution, beside the other features that I'm going to cover, many of these PCs are going to go into mainstream. And I believe this is the important things to understand. Many of them are going to go into mainstream. Now, people told us we would like to have very thin form factor. Let's admit, the acceptance of MacBook Air was very nice. We tested the market. Many people say we would like to get this form factor. But there's another thing that people say. People say, you know, we are not willing to wait for the PC. We would like to get instant on. So let me repeat some of the demos. I still have argument to show later on. If I was the first one to do the demo, he stole it from me, or he was the first one, and I stole it from him. But definitely, this is a system that we showed. The system is in hibernate. We showed that actually the battery is outside, so there's no question the system is in hibernate. When you open it and you want to switch the system on, rather than waiting 20 or 30 seconds, why don't you switch it on? We can count together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. Okay? Otherwise, go 2, 1.5, 1. You know, we've got our ways. But the point is that you can get the system and you don't need to wait for the system to boot, because this is something which is really enormous. The other thing which I'll make you a very quick example is the Lenovo, and it's the feature that we call Smart Connect technology, or as we develop it, we call it always on, always connected. And again, earlier people should say it very slowly. If the system switches on, the last thing I want to do is now wait for the system to synchronize with all the activities that have been in the background. So there's something interesting, if there's a tweet, if there's an email, all the things, I want them to be fed into my system even when the system is asleep. So once I open the system, not only that the system will come on instantly, but I'll be able to access the content or the relevant content in a very fast mode. So let's look at it. We've got over here the system. We switch the system on. Again, it was in hibernate mode from the beginning of my presentation. 5, 4, 0. Okay? You can see over here is some data. And I don't see what you have over here.
Well, actually, we had took a ton of pictures while you were in the audience right now, and some of the folders.
So these are systems that have been taken before. I see any system, any picture that you can show the specifically one.
Yeah, let's actually go back here. There we go. Your favorite.
Sure. And this is a picture that have been taken just before I got on stage. And the system will be streamed into the system. So once the system is on, all this content is available. This is the Smart Connect technology, or as we used to call it, always on, always connected. Another technology that we have is the Smart Response technology. And remember, there's two things. One, when I switch off the system, I want it to wake up immediately. The other thing is when I want to load application, I want this application to load pretty fast, and I don't want to wait too long. We've got a combination of two things we need to choose from. Either I've got hard disk drive, where I've got great capacity, 1 terabyte, half a terabyte, but it's relatively slow, even if you take 7200 RPM, or I can have an SSD, which is very, very fast, but relatively very expensive. What we try to do is to combine the goodness of both, come with a very big hard disk drive, complemented with 20 or 40 gig of cache, and try to make sure that the whole system looks to you like if everything is an SSD. So we've got 3 systems over here. By the way, this demo is an all-in-one, but we've got over here a notebook with Fujitsu, so you'll be able to test it later on and see. What are the 3 things? So why don't we start with the
Okay, here's on the count. 3, 1, 2, 3.
Is what you've got?
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so the system here is on the left.
This one's the one with the higher disk drive, eh?
It's a very big hard disk drive, 7200 RPM, but only this drive.
1 terabyte.
Over here,
They have a solid state drive in that one.
yes,
Also 1 terabyte.
and over here we've got a big disk drive with a smaller cache,
Exactly.
20 meg cache. Then by mistake you started it too late.
But it'll still give us the timer, so we'll see
Okay,
it's not.
so system, and what we are trying to do is to take few hours of activities, kind of opening application, closing application, looking at Ubicasa, closing Ubicasa, and we are trying to condense everything, closing and opening in a very fast way. I see one of the systems already finished in 33 seconds, which is the SSD. The system that has both the hard disk drive and the SSD, we are advocating, you can enjoy both worlds. Took 34 seconds, and the hard disk drive is still working, finishing in 58 seconds. So the smart response technology is the technology to develop with our customers in order not only to give you instant on, but when you want to work and open application and get the fast response, you'll get it all the time. And this is the application, and again, feel free later on to go and try to play with this. I really admire the left side of this audience. They know to appreciate technology. No answer to you, you still have got a lot of opportunity to show that you understand it. Okay. All right. Ivy Bridge. It was very interesting. We went to the web and tried to look at Ivy Bridge. We found 1.37 million articles about Ivy Bridge before we even disclosed what Ivy Bridge is. So that shows a lot of the press guys know often that many of the people in the press are writing a lot about nothing. But never mind, I don't want to go against press. But let me share with you a little bit about Ivy Bridge. Not too much because we haven't disclosed it yet, but definitely I'm going to show you a little bit. First of all, Ivy Bridge. If we're thinking about the way that Intel is developing its technology, we've got a tick-tock model. Talk, new architecture on existing process technology. Tick, you take the architecture, you compact it to the new process technology, but you do minimal architecture changes. Again, talk, new architecture on much more mature process technology, and tick is the compaction. In this way, we decided to reduce the risk. But 1 year, we are doing major architecture change, and the following year, we are doing the process compaction. Let me show you one thing. Ivy Bridge was supposed to be a tick conversion of Sandy Bridge to 22 nanometer. Ivy Bridge is not a tick, it's a big tick plus, because in order to make sure that we can deliver the right user experience, we decided to take risks and implement architecture changes inside Ivy Bridge. And for that reason, when you'll accept it, or when you'll get it, and you see the graphic performance, you see some of the additional media features, and some other things, I believe many of you will be surprised. So let me tell you up front, Ivy Bridge is not a tick. Ivy Bridge at least is a tick plus. Sean showed you, by the way, I'm not going to shrink myself. If you look at me, I'm shrunk enough as it is. So this was not a joke. So I'm not going to try to go into this machine again. But definitely, if you look at it, I believe we got a great gift from our technology development, which is the 22 nanometer 3D transistor, because this is actually the building block. We got the best Lego in the world, and now people say, go and build me a castle. With such a Lego, we can do miracle. Now, I'm not going to dive into the low power microprocessors, but I believe we've got very nice opportunity to go and compete over there, because this transistor can give the designer many, many, many great features. So let's see what we can get. In a nutshell, at the low voltage, if you keep the same voltage, you can get 37% more performance at the transistor level. And if you try to keep the same performance that you got in 32 nanometer and maintain the same performance at the 22 nanometer, we'll be able to do it at half the power. I believe, by the way, when I saw it, it was a huge wow, because interesting enough, this was so secret that when the designers started designing Ivy Bridge, we got the process file which said what is the behavior, but we didn't know exactly what are the transistors. We just got the parameters, but the designer got the parameters, and we've been able to do it. So no doubt about it, we got a transistor that enabled us to put many, many features on Ivy Bridge in relatively very high performance and very low leakage. And just to give you an example, I believe what we have over here is many, many, many hundreds of billions of transistors of Ivy Bridge, and you can see it over here. And this is a wafer, 22 nanometer wafer. My friend from Japan. Okay. By the way, those of you who didn't take picture, you will not have enough chat. You will not have another chat because this way is going to go out of the, because some of you are going to take a close-up and do the analysis. I apologize. Let's go to Ivy Bridge features. Sean spoke about the features that we are going to have in Ivy Bridge. We are going to have smart performance, responsiveness, great visual experience, and security built into it. Let me do a deeper dive into some of the features. If you are looking into the smart performance and responsiveness, we spend lots of time working very close in collaboration with our partner in Microsoft on the next generation Windows in order to make sure that you really merge the microprocessor and the operating system together to get the best out of it. And if you remember the triangle that I showed, it's had to do with user experience and then the operating system and then the microprocessor to support it. If you do not tailor it vertically and you do not make sure that you've got a very nice integration, you will not be able to get the best out of it. As a result of this cooperation with Ivy Bridge, you'll be able to get great battery life, unbelievable performance and snappiness, always on, always connected that I showed you before. We are going to have integrated USB 3 and we are going to have Thunderbolt. And I don't know how many of you really understood the demo that Sean showed because it's very complicated. But Thunderbolt is actually, think about it, is a very, very fast bus that enables you to take all the I/O that exists inside the CPU, take it externally, and let you get access into the PCs from a remote location. And this is the Thunderbolt technology. I believe as we move forward, you'll see more and more people are using this technology because actually you can design a PC with one socket, or later on, I don't know how many of you noticed, you can design a PC with those sockets. And I don't know how many people have seen the future of the PC in the pictures, but this is definitely something to think about. If you look at the visual, we are going to deliver much better high-def transcoding, decoding and encoding. Actually, the performance is going to be in such a level that we'll be able to do high-definition, real-time video conferencing, everything in high definition in order to be able to do it. We are going to continue to improve the graphic to a better level, even the centigrade, and we are going to support DX11. And if you're looking at the security, and I'll touch on it later on, we'll have better identity protection, we'll have better encryption, and increased malware protection. I will not speak about it right now, because I'll touch on it in a few seconds. So this is the Ivy Bridge, which is going to come as our next generation. One smart thing we did in Ivy Bridge is the configurable TDP. I believe the SKUs that we are going to see in the future are going to be very interesting. You're going to see tablets, you're going to see clamshell, you are going to see convertible, which can be tablets or clamshell, that you can see all kinds of other crazy ideas that we'll be able to do as we move with the transformation of the PC. But one of the requirements was configurable TDP. TDP is thermal design point, but in a nutshell, without going into the detail, what is the power dissipation of the microprocessor? Because the power dissipation of the solution will define how thick the system is. And some people say, you know, sometimes I'm willing to sacrifice performance, sometimes I want all the performance, and you Intel, I would like you to deliver to me whatever I want, whenever I want it. So, if you're looking at the nature, and I used exactly this foil last year, if we look at the nature of performance in the way that you need to do it, alternate control delete, you get the task manager, you push performance, and you can see over here, and you see that the CPU utilization is kind of 10%. And then people ask me, if it's 10%, who needs all this performance? And the answer is not 10%. The nature of the thing is that you've got spikes. You don't need the performance, suddenly you open some application, you want the immediate response. You do not play the game, you play the game, you want the immediate response. You want the CPU to be able to give the spikes when you need it, and for that we developed the turbo. The turbo was a great technology that enabled us to work at the fixed frequency, but when there was performance on demand, we could try to stretch it. I will not go and explain it again, we explained it last year, but if I look at the dual core, for example, if I go quad core and I'm using only 2 cores, I can take the power of the 2 cores which are not used, give it to the 2 cores that are used, increase their power and frequency, and as a result, improve their performance. Are you with me now? Yes, no? Okay. What we are trying to do with configurable TDP is the same thing. Sean told you that we are going to go down to the range of 15 watts. 15 watts will enable you to do 0.7, 0.6 inch PCs. But some of the OEM, I believe some of them are sitting here probably if I go to my ODM bar, they say, no, we would like to go thinner, we would like to go 5 inches below. We would like to go even to 12 inch or even to 10, 11, even a bit lower. Can you give it to us? So the idea was, if this is the nominal TDP that define 0.7 inch of a notebook, we can enable by software to take this number lower, and as a result you have less performance, but it will be low power, you can make it thinner. Are you with me up to here?
Yes.
But, thank you. But the challenge is, we say, the snappiness. What's happened when you open an application? And what we did in both cases, we enabled it to turbo all the way up to 25 or 30 watts, and I don't want to say the exact number, both of this one and the other one. So if you see that if you need the performance, you can boost very, very fast, and the question is, just a minute, if the box is very thin, how can you go to the high frequency? And the idea is the following. If most of the time the CPU is idle, it's very cold, for a few seconds, I can even take it much above the nominal frequency, and it's getting hotter. We look at what's happening in the junction, and when the CPU is too hot, then we take it down. By being able to do this growth to the high frequency and going back, that's what gives you the responsiveness, that's what gives you the snappiness, and this is the configurable TDP. Where is the brilliant way to use it? If you go on the Go device, all these beautiful devices you see over here, if you go, you say, guys, you know, I would like to have a thin system, I would like it to be 15 watts, and when there'll be application, I want to use it. But when I'm going home, and I've got my docking station, maybe I want to change the format of a movie. Maybe I want to do editing to my picture. I don't want the snappiness, I want to have high performance all the time. If you go home, we put it on the docking station, and if you've got a good cooling on the docking station, we can move the power high, as if the system is thicker. It's not thicker, but you just provide better cooling. As a result, you can deliver better performance for a longer time. This is the configurable TDP. I'm sure that you'll hear a lot about it. The technical people over here probably will see the usage, and I believe this will enable us to have all these beautiful form factors that we are going to see in the near future. To a totally different domain, which we try to address with the transformation starting with Ironbridge. And this is the horror stories that you hear over here about the security breaches. I had a chance to meet with some of my colleagues back. The numbers are scary. Sometimes 60,000 breaches per day. People are trying to attack your systems. And guys, it's not students or kids that are trying to get some fame by having some kind of a virus. It's an organized crime that is trying to go into your database and do some damage, intercept transactions, all kind of things that actually can really harm you. Now, I will not try to do what I did last year. I believe it was here. I'm almost sure that I say, try to imagine that you are coming one morning, you open your PC, you look at your bank account, and you see that it's zero. And then I was quiet in order to make impression. And then somebody in the crowd was jumping, yes! I said, what should we say? I'm in terrible debit. So this was not the point. The point is that people are working over there, trying to attack our database, trying to attack our PC, and you can see it went all the way to website. Sony was attacked for phishing, millions exposed message in Epsilon security. Every day that you open, you can see some attempt to breach our content. Now let's admit it. You store your digital life in notebooks. Your pictures, your videos, your experiments, your mail, your history. Actually, you take away the database. You take away part of your life. And that's what we'll be trying to address. We'll be able to try to address it in 4 different vectors. One is when you access your system for services, we'll try to do it in a more secure way. We call it IPT, identity protection. We'll try to make sure that the identity protection technology is built into your new systems, into your ultrabook system. We'll build in the identity protection. We'll describe it in more detail probably in the IDF. Will not go all the way down to the level for obvious reasons. This is the security engine, security hub. You do not want to expose it. We are going to try to defend you against hidden Trojan horses and all this kind of software that people are trying to put into your system by developing special ways to secure it even more. We are going to try to help you to secure data by making sure that whenever you do anything, it will be encrypted into your disk. And in order to make sure that when you read and write, you do not spend too much time, we'll try to deliver special instructions built into the CPU, so when you do it, it will be accelerated to be done very, very fast. And we'll try to make sure that if, unfortunately, your PC is stolen, we'll be able to send a suicide pill and kill it from remote, because when you lose a PC, and I don't know how many people it's happened to you, it's happened to me approximately 1 per month. The last time I forgot it in the pocket of the airplane, I went out to find, holy, I don't have my PC. The problem is not the PC is not the problem. The problem is my database. Is there any way I can do it? And the last thing is, if you are attacked, are there anything we can develop in order to enable fast recovery? And we are going to work on all these 4 vectors in order to be able to make it happen. So, I was speaking about Ivy Bridge, and I told you what some of the features of Ivy Bridge. I spoke about the 22 nanometer, which is a very complicated technology. And many people ask me about what is the health of Ivy Bridge. So rather than tell you what the health of the Ivy Bridge, I would like to show you 2 Ivy Bridge systems. Why don't you show us some things on the Ivy Bridge system?
Sure, we're going to look at the media performance, and it's going to be much improved when it comes out. We're actually going to look at some fresh stuff on here, and here we have 12 high-definition 1080p streams streamed from the desktop.
So you can see media section, 12 high-definition stream 1080p stream on an Ivy Bridge system. Okay, on the left.
Now we're going to look at the graphics performance, and here's the very popular game called StarCraft 2. And we're going to actually play that in Grid Sun as well, where we're going to practice play it since it's really hard game in the world.
So actually, thanks David. So what you see here is the media, what you see over here is the graphic, and definitely the CPU is orchestrating all of this and all the tasks. And if people ask me what the situation is of Ivy Bridge, it's more than billion transistor functional. We don't disclose the exact number. Sandy Bridge was 1.2 billion. Ivy Bridge is going to be more than Sandy Bridge. And you can see the functionality of Ivy Bridge that we are cleaning and working in order to introduce it to the market. So there have been a lot of rumors about Ivy Bridge. Yes, no. We can go later on stage and see 2 Ivy Bridge systems actually working and playing nice. Okay, what about after Ivy Bridge? And I believe, again, Sean covered this in his speech, and I believe you'll hear about it much more as we move forward. We've got Haswell. In 2013, we are going to deliver Haswell, which is going to be totally different platform top to bottom. It's going to be totally different architecture, and the techie guys among you will definitely love in order to be able to sleep. If you try to fast forward to 2013, and I'm speaking about the consumer space, I promise you, you'll be here, I'll probably be here. We are not going to speak about benchmark. We speak about user experience. It's going to be amazing new form factor. But again, if there's one thing I want you to leave this room is remember, the new transition, the new transformation is not about the form factor. The form factor is must. It's mandatory, but it's not sufficient. It's going to be about all-day battery life. It's going to be about instant on. It's going to be best-in-class graphic, because you cannot fit discrete graphic into this form factor. It's going to be secure built into the system. So when you'll be working on this system, you will not have to worry about security. Somebody else will do the job for you. It will be seamless connectivity between devices. That Sean showed you. I didn't have enough time to cover the compute continuum, but you're going to have several devices in your house. It's going to be phone, it's going to be tablet, it's going to be desktop, it's going to be notebook. All of them are going to speak with each other and share the media, and we are going to do it seamlessly, so you don't need to be wishbone in order to be able to do it. It will be very simple touch, and you'll be able to flip the features from your PC to the TV and vice versa. It will run multiple operating systems. This is the transformation. It's carry something which you are proud of, and you'll be able to enjoy it. And we'll speak about it. It will be, I'm on Facebook instantly. I get back to what I was doing instantly. By the way, not only that it switch automatically, it will also connect back to the through the hotspot to the last page that you've seen before. I like the way it looks. It protects my stuff from inside. It knows me, my phone, where I am. That's another huge issue that we are working on in Intel, which is context aware. There's going to be sensors in the PC that will know many, many things about you, and they'll know your calendar, they'll know where you are, the accelerometer will know if you are standing or sitting, and it will be able to feed and give you some information like, hey guys, why don't you go to the next meeting? It will dial for you because you need to be on a bridge. Many, many different activations. These are the features that we are going to have, and most important, it will be waiting for me. I will not wait for it. This will be my system, and this is the things that we are going to do as we are moving forward. Bear with me 1 minute for the technical people among you that we know to appreciate it. Today, our mainstream is designed about 35 watts. In order to be able to come to this beautiful form factor that you see over here, we need to stretch it down to the range of 15 watts, huge task. There was no way that we could have done it if we didn't have this magic new 3D transistor that enabled us to put everything in a much smaller place, get while reducing the power. And if you remember when I showed you the turbo, it will be centered around 15 watts, but it will be able to go higher. For the people that are asking all this kind of question about my partner in crime, Dan Davis, I believe is going to cover it tomorrow. We'll have the Atom family coming from below, and we try to overlap between the Core family, which I'm covering right now, and the Atom family that he will be covering. And then our customers, our OEM, will be able to choose what is the one that fits best for them. Now, the ideas and the opportunities in order to do it, and we start working with our customer as we speak, is unlimited. Let me share with you one of the concepts that we are playing with, which is called Nikishki. Don't ask me about the name, I didn't invite you. I didn't invent it. Nikishki is a concept PC that we are going to deliver to the market to use by 2013. This had the secondary screen that we spoke about and tested very well 2-3 years ago, but the technology was not there in order to be able to implement it. So, when we'll be on the go, we'll be able to look at the screen and see whatever we need. So rather than giving you foil, let me show you the prototype of Nikishki as it looks right now. Ladies, please come on stage. Thank you. So first of all, this is the way the Nikishki look like. When you go with Nikishki, you'll have the secondary screen. You can see the content, and if I need to know where is the next meeting, I don't need to take my iPhone or anything else. I'll be able to see it from here. But very important to understand that this transparency is also a pen and also a keyboard. So from here, I'll be able to type and get the information that I want, even when it's closed. And if you remember the always on, always connected, this system will be updated as I work. But if I want to open it, this is the standard system that you are used. You can have the productivity on anything, and here you have the touchpad in order to be able to move. And this is just one of the ideas that we are going to do, definitely in a very nice form factor that we are still working on the cooling in order to release it. And this is one of the ideas of Nikishki. I believe you'll see many, many more systems as we move forward. And I was so enthusiastic that I lost my clicker. I find my clicker. Thank you very much, ladies. So, as I said before, the transformation starts now. It starts with Sandy Bridge, and as I said, Ultrabook enters mainstream, and in holiday refresh this year, you see systems below $999 representing this form factor. Ivy Bridge in 2012 will be ultra-thin, ultra-responsive, and ultra-secure, and everything will be built into this category of Ultrabook. And Haswell will be the notebook reinvented in order to be able to deliver all this magnificent form factor and usage that we are speaking about. So as I say, the transformation begins now. But we need to work with you, with the ecosystem, in order to enable us to go there. There's still premium. There's premium on prismatic battery. We need to work with the ecosystem to reduce it. Thin panel, we'll work with you in order to reduce it. Chassis, either aluminum or metallic plastic, we need to work with the ecosystem. We already start working, actually, as we speak. We started several months ago. The adoption of the willingness to work with us is great, but it's not a one company show. It's a whole ecosystem that will be working together in order to deliver this experience. So to summarize, Sandy Bridge, the integration of the CPU, GPU, and the media, we believe it's a game changer, and we believe that if you look back at the history of microprocessor, Sandy Bridge will have a very nice place in this history book. The ultrabook category is evolving, and as I say, it starts now. What Sean said, and let me repeat it because it's a big challenge, but we spoke with our partners and they are willing to rise to the opportunity. We believe that with Ivy Bridge we'll be able to leave the end of next year with 40% of ultrabooks by the end of next year, which says definitely that we need to drive the cost to a very affordable, otherwise we'll not be able to get to the 40%. And we'll partner with the ecosystem in order to deliver all this great experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, we revolutionized the PC industry in the past. We did the Pentium MMX. I had the luxury to work with many of you in doing the Centrino revolution. Let's do it once again, and I hope that by next year, and definitely 2 years from now, we'll be able to see fascinating new PC and reinvigorate the whole category once again. Thank you very much.